Hi, I'm Jack, and today's video is some general guidelines for exercise. So if you're trying to lose weight or keep yourself or build some tone, I say we should warm up first before we do any weight training program. We should have weights and cardio in our program. Anybody can lose weight. Don't eat this month. But you're going to put it back on next month and you put more back on. So we don't want to yo-yo. We want to be able to eat the right things at the right times. I think timing's really important, and the same applies with our exercise. I like to eat about an hour and a half before a workout, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, so that you're fueling the machine. We never drive our car without gas. And we also want to have it digested. It's like when you're a kid and your mother says, don't go swimming for an hour after you eat. You do want to be digested. So the first thing you do when you get to the gym is warm up. A lot of people come in to do a couple of stretches and think they warmed up, and that's not a warm-up. You should stretch later in the workout when you're already warm. You don't want to stretch a cold muscle. So you walk on the treadmill, the elliptical, whatever it is you do. I run to the gym or ride my bike here. And then so you get yourself going for, say, 10, 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes. We don't want to burn out our carbs before we go lifting weights. We need that for lifting weights. So I say you do 20 minutes or less before the weight training session, and to burn fat, you do 20 minutes or more after the weight training session. Fat's the last thing the body wants to burn, so you have to do that in order. You can't defy science. It's like trying to freeze ice at 40 degrees. It's not going to work. So we're going to go over to the free weight area. After we've warmed up, we want to do our weight training session. For my beginner video, I talk about doing some machines. My intermediate and advanced videos, we talk about some of the best exercise in the gym. I like to reap the benefits of all the above. Machines help to isolate the particular muscle that we're trying to use. Cables give us a nice continuous tension throughout the full range of motion. When you're doing a free weight, you might feel nothing, stress, nothing. Where on a cable, you feel a continuous tension throughout the full range of motion. I said on machines that you want to go nice and easy and slow and feel them. And as a general rule, it's the same thing on cables. And free weights help to develop our stabilizer muscles. They are our primary movements. So we don't want to just live and die on machines alone, or cables alone for that matter. That I like to reap the benefits all the above, and I repeat myself on purpose. Now nutritionally, I think we should be eating about 5 meals a day, maybe 6, that we eat like a king for breakfast, a prince for lunch, and a pauper for dinner. I like to eat my breakfast right away in the morning, and the studies show that by eating breakfast, you can burn 20 to 25% more calories that day. So never skipping breakfast. I like complex carbohydrates. I think they're absolutely a necessary nutrient. I get my carbs earlier in the day. I like oatmeal with breakfast. I like granola. I like rice with lunch. But then supper time, it's protein and a double veggie. You're cutting these carbs out after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's what a basic standard schedule. A lot of people work nights and just adjust accordingly. Of course, we want to drink plenty of water. It's the most important nutrient that we put in our body. A big guy can drink up to 2 gallons of water. There is such a thing as too much, so I just, you wouldn't go over that. I believe in the 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day as recommended, and I tend to get my fruits earlier in the day. A lot of people are afraid, oh, that's sugar, that's sugar. There's good sugar and there's bad sugar. There's good fat and there's bad fat. So we want to make sure we get it from good sources, and we want our meals to be balanced. How many of my clients have said to me, oh, I had a banana for breakfast today, or I had an egg? That's not nearly enough. That's not eating like a king for breakfast. We should have a balanced meal. So that 4 to 6 egg whites, depending on your size, how much muscle you're carrying, is a great start for the protein source. I only recommend about 1 yolk a day. And then for the carbohydrates, I like oats in the morning. The steel cut oats that you would do the serving size on the label, plus or minus, depending on how big you are. And again, it's how much lean mass you have. It's your muscle, not your fat that I'm feeding. And then we want to have fruits and vegetables. Again, vegetables with most every meal, but fruits tend to be earlier in the day, and the good fats are very important. You get your good fats from avocado, from nuts, from definitely fish. I recommend fish twice a week, keeping the red meat down to twice or less. And of course, not loading things with heavy toppings. You can ruin a perfectly good salad by putting a bunch of junk on top of it. I don't even use a salt shaker. I like to keep the sodium down to a minimum. There's plenty present in the foods that we eat that I don't add salt to things, because salt tends to bloat us. And on the other end, that we also want to make sure that we get adequate potassium. I like 1 banana a day. Even for a little lady, you might only do a half a banana. Put the other half in the freezer and save it for the next day. I do my breakfast in a blender. I put the oatmeal right in there with protein powder, my fruit, and some juice. So if you're trying to burn fat, that you probably want to make a deficit of about 500 calories a day, and that'll get you about 1 pound a week of weight loss. I try not to lose too much too fast, because then you're going to end up putting it all back on again. Losing 1 pound or 2 a week, so that's a deficit of 500 to 1,000 calories a day. It might be what's best. And if you're trying to gain muscle, a lot of guys just take in too much protein. Remember that we want to. There are different schools of thought, and I think if you do about 1 gram of protein per pound of lean mass, then that's probably a safe way to go. So let's say I weigh 160 pounds at 10% body fat, then I have 140 something pounds of lean mass. I would eat about 140 grams of protein per day, and I'm splitting that into 5 or 6 meals. And it's not necessarily a meal every time, that we might have 3 meals with a couple of healthy snacks in between. One of my healthy snacks that I like earlier in the day is to have a couple of almonds with a yogurt and maybe a piece of fruit. And that's what's going to have me in between my breakfast and my lunch. Maybe a little granola in there too, because we are getting our complex carbs earlier in the day. And I do recommend a daily multiple vitamin. A lot of trainers say you don't need it if you eat right, but not everybody eats like a bodybuilder every day, getting your 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. So I do recommend the daily multiple vitamin as our insurance policy of our balance of nutrients. And some people might need more vitamin D or something recommended by a doctor or something, so you might add that in also. So look for more Ask Jack videos. Thank you for watching.